And it's a cloudy day, so it's why the background is the way it is. So let me move back over here and welcome everyone to the class. And I will come down onto my mat. And I'm glad that all of you are staying healthy and happy, I hope. And I hope the yoga is helping with that, because it's pretty bleak out there right now as far as the political scene is concerned, and of course the economic scene. But in any case, let's practice. Let's push all that aside and all the other worries and problems that we might have, and practice some yoga. Ah, yes. So everyone take a deep breath in, and then open the mouth and let it go. And one more deep breath. And let it go. Just releasing, coming into the space, coming into what you feel. And try to relax the face. Let the shoulders release. Teeth are parted, so the jaw is released. Just breathe into the belly. Good. And opening the eyes, everyone come down onto your backs. And if you've got a strap or a belt or an old necktie or something, just keep that handy. If you'd like, you can put a pillow under your head. You can put a cushion or something under the knees if that's comfortable for you. And we'll start in yoga resting pose. Just open the arms out or rotate the arms. Let the hands, the back of the hands rest lightly on the floor. Still breathing into the belly. And adjust here if you choose. You can move gently, whatever works, whatever feels okay this morning. And if you can hear the rain pattering, just notice that. Because it's raining here in Denver. Notice the belly rising and falling with each inhale and exhale. Bring one hand, and I'm going to bring my right hand onto my belly and my left hand onto my chest. Just resting lightly on the belly and the chest. And now let the breath deepen. Feel the belly rise, and then take the inhale into the middle chest and then to the upper chest, and you'll feel the upper chest rise. Notice the expansion and then the contraction as you exhale. And then let the tongue lift just a little bit so you hear that exhale. Just release and notice. Now bring the hands down by your side, palms down, and bring the feet all the way into the hips. Knees are pointing straight up. Feel the feet on the mat. Wiggle the toes, lift the toes, pick up the mat with the toes. On your next inhale, just let the belly lift up toward the ceiling, pressing the shoulder blades down into the mat. And as you exhale, rock the hips, pressing the low back down into the mat. Inhaling, lift the belly to the ceiling, shoulder blades into the mat. Exhaling. Yeah. Just inhaling and exhaling, gentle hip rocks. Two more. You make these as slow or as fast as you'd like. Yes, exhaling. And now back to that neutral spine. Good. Extend the left leg and bring the right knee into the chest. Gently hug that in and circle the toes. One direction and then the other. And then bring the right foot down, extend the right leg, and bring the left knee into the chest. Just gently draw it toward the chest. Circle the toes. And now bring the left foot down and extend the left leg. With the hands palms down on the mat, just gently roll the head and look toward your right. Don't tighten up. In the lower body, just stay relaxed, just turning the head to the right. Breathe. And now take the gaze back to the ceiling and gently roll the head, taking the gaze left. And bring the gaze back up to the ceiling. Bring both knees into the chest. And the knees are shoulder width apart. Gently rock side to side. And bring both feet down to the mat. The feet are hip width apart. Bring the hands down by your side, and now press into the mat with the feet and just gently lift the hips up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring those hips back down. Inhaling, lifting the hips. And exhale and lower. And one more time, the hips lift. And exhale and lower. Bring the arms wide, palms down, and take the knees over to the right. Just let the knees flop over there and turn the gaze left. Just release. And bring the knees back to the ceiling, and then let the knees go to the left. Turn your gaze right. And bring the knees back up to the ceiling. Extend the legs long and the arms behind you. Cross stretch. We're going to stretch through the left leg and the right arm. So flex the left foot, and as you inhale deeply, strengthen that left leg, flex that foot, reach through the heel, and at the same time, reach through the right fingers behind you. Ah, yes. And as you exhale, release. And on the other side, so now flex the right foot. Feel the muscles tighten in the right leg as you press out through the right heel and now reach through the left fingers. And exhale and release. Yeah, all good. With the arms behind you, grab the right, grab the left wrist with the right hand and walk the feet over to the right. Cross the left ankle over the left. Keep the hip bones on the mat. And now as you inhale, we'll do a gentle stretch to the right. And exhale, release. Bring the feet to center. Take the feet off the mat to the left. Cross the right ankle over the left. And now grasp the right wrist with the left hand and banana to the left. And exhaling, release. Good. Bring the hands straight up out of the shoulders toward the ceiling. Fingers spread, reaching toward the ceiling. Shoulder blades are still on the mat. Strong through the arms. Fingers spread. And now bring the palms together and press the hands together. Interlock the fingers, turn the palms up to the ceiling, and then press the hands to the ceiling. Elbows in toward the center. Still breathing. And as you inhale, bring the hands down behind you toward the floor. And if they don't get there, that's okay. Exhaling, bring the hands back up to the ceiling. Inhaling, take the hands down toward the floor behind you. Inhaling, hands to the ceiling. And one more time, the hands come down toward the floor. And inhaling back up. Good. Press the palms up. Draw the pinky fingers toward your face. And now release. Oh, good. Yes. And just do the fingers, roll the wrists. Bring the elbows down to the mat. Good. Bring both knees into the chest. And with one hand on each knee, open the knees wide. Find the sensation in the hips. And bring the knees back up to the ceiling. And now extend the legs straight up, both legs. Ah, yes. Find some sensation, hopefully, or maybe in the backs of the legs and the hamstrings. Flex the feet, pressing up through the heels. Keep the left leg lifted and now slowly lower the right leg down toward the mat, keeping the right foot flexed. And point the toes and take the right foot back up. Flex, lower the right leg. Core strength here, inhaling the leg back up. And then flex the foot and lower the right leg down. One more time, point the toes and lift it back up. Good, take a breath. And you can bend the knees, you can come into that knees to the chest. Breathe. It's all yoga is movement in coordination with the breath. Now take both legs back up, both feet back up to the ceiling, flex the feet. Feel the strength in the legs. Feel that tightness in the belly. And now slowly lower the left leg. Point the toes and lift it back. Flex the foot and lower. Point and lift. Flex and lower. And point and lift. Good. Bring both knees into the chest. and gently rock. Extend both legs, both feet straight up to the mat. Now, extend the arms up, and you're in dead bug, or all limbs up. And you can shake the legs and shake the feet. And feel that. Feel what's going on when you do that. And then bring both knees into the chest. Now bring both feet down to the mat, mat width. So you're feeling the edges of the mat with the feet. Take the arms wide, and we'll do windshield wiper. So just let the knees fall to the right. And take the tension out of the left thigh. And bring the knees back up and let the knees fall to the left. And bring the knees back up to the ceiling. Bring the knees toward the chest and bring the hands behind the knees. And then gently start that up and back rocking. Coming up and then rolling back to the shoulder blades, not the back of the head. And one more rock. And then come to that balance. So you're balanced here. And straighten the right leg. And then bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. And then bend both knees. And just come up to seated with the legs extended out in front. And sit up tall, lifting up. Spread the toes, point the toes back toward the face. Legs are strong and straight. Feet are together. And breathe. Yeah, okay, release that. Bring both feet in toward the hips and the soles of the feet together. Cobbler pose. And slide the feet away and come into butterfly or diamond. Let the head just release toward the mat. Inhaling, come on back up. And bring the feet around into table. A couple of rounds of moving cat-cow. Inhaling, lift the gaze straight ahead, pressing the belly toward the mat. And as you exhale, let the top of the head go toward the mat and the hips come back toward the heels. And bring the elbows down, coming forward and up as you inhale, gazing straight ahead, exhaling, rounding, and moving back. Inhaling up, exhaling back. Two more. Inhaling and exhaling. And with the hips back toward the heels, bring the elbows down and just let the head drop down toward the mat. And you can rest the forehead on a block or on the mat. And lift the head and walk the hands away toward the top of the mat. The hips are still back toward the heels. Arms are straight now, pressing the fingertips and the palms into the mat. Let the head release toward the mat. Walk the hands off the mat to the right. Bring the left hand onto the right. And the head drips down toward the right knee. And bring the hands to center and off the mat to the left, right hand on left. And bring the hands back to center, again reaching. Head releases. And on your next inhale, lift up, keeping the arms straight. Bring the elbows toward the center of the mat into knee plank. Inhaling and exhaling back. Inhaling, coming up and forward. Long spine, long neck, exhaling back. Inhaling, coming up and forward. And now just breathe in knee plank. Shoulder blades on the back, gaze is down toward the end of the mat. And exhale the hips back toward the heels. Inhaling, come back up into table. Inhale here, and on your exhale, take the hips to the left, take the gaze past the right shoulder toward the back of the mat. Come back to center, and exhaling, hips right, gaze left. Coming back to center, take the gaze to the right, and center and gaze left. And coming back to center. Extend the right arm straight out to the right. Draw it into the shoulder, and on your inhale, let the hand just float up toward the ceiling. And turn the palm to the outside and bring that hand down. Follow it with the eyes bound behind you. Fingertips come across the floor, hand comes out in front. You're gazing forward now and inhaling the hand back up. Turn the palm out, exhale the hand down. Reach out in front. One more big circle. And with the hand back to the ceiling, turn the palm out. And exhale and bring the right hand down. And extend the left arm straight out to the left. And as you inhale, open to the left. Breathe, reaching, gazing up. Now bring that left hand down behind you, follow it with the eyes. Fingertips touch the floor, lifting the hand back, turning the palm out, exhaling, and inhaling. One more circle. And with the hand to the ceiling, turn the palm out. And exhale the left hand back down to the mat. Take that breath, move in table. Now curl the toes and come into downward facing dog. Work the heels into the mat or toward the mat, one at a time. And now step the feet toward the hands. Come into half lift. Bring the shoulder blades onto the back. Press the belly toward the toes. Legs are almost straight with a very slight bend in the knees. See if you can get sensation in the legs, in the backs of the legs. And then working one heel and then the other. Straightening one leg, straightening the other. And bend the knees, come down into forward fold. Let the head go toward the knees. Again, with the heels. Notice the heels are turned out slightly.
With the feet hip width apart, bend the knees here, come up onto the toes with the knees pointing straight forward. Get long through the spine, and if you choose, bring the hands in prayer at the heart. And bring the hands down to the mat. Let the head drop as the hips lift into forward fold. Ah, yes. Bend the knees, press with the front of the feet, coming up, rounding up. Draw the shoulders back, bring the hands wide, lifting, pressing down with the feet. And exhale into mountain pose. Good, all right. We'll do our spinal flow. So inhale and bring the arms up. And now take the right hand down to the side, arcing right, gazing up to the left. Inhaling the right hand up, exhaling the left hand down, draw the right shoulder back, arcing the left. Inhale up. Ah, yes, arms come wide, palms to the ceiling, twist to your right, gazing toward the right hand. Inhaling up. Exhale, and now the twist to the left. Ah, yes. Inhaling up. Hands come in prayer through the heart. Hinge at the hips, forward fold. Knees are bent. Head releases. And now really bend the knees. Inhale, bring the hands forward, coming up. Exhaling, the hands back on the ceiling. Inhaling up, gaze goes straight ahead. Exhale, the hands come down. Good, oh yeah, flop it out. Step wide on the mat. Press the heels out toward the ends of the mat. Comfortably wide stance. Hands to the hips, exhale. Come into a wide-legged forward fold. Let the hands release to the outsides of the legs, the ankles or the floor, and let the head go. And there's a little bend in those knees. And walk the hands over toward the right foot. And if you want to take the bind, you bring the left hand above the ankle, and then the right hand comes behind the leg to grasp the wrist. And then release, bring the hands to center. Take a breath here as you release the head toward the mat. And then bring the hands over toward the left foot. Right hand to the ankle, left hand behind. And release the bind, bring the hands back to center, under the face. And turn the toes out and just bend the knees, taking your bottom toward the mat. Hands are still on the mat. And just settle the butt down toward the floor. And if you'd like, you can bring the elbows to the inside of the knees to find that sensation in the hips. I'm on spider fingers here. Palms are off the mat. And the spine is long. Good. Now straighten the legs. Bring the toes back toward the edge of the mat and release down. Walk the hands away into wide-legged down dog. And you're pressing down through the heels on the mat. And now walk the hands back under the face. One more exhale as the head releases the top of the head toward the mat. And come up onto the tips of your fingers, get long through the spine, bring your hands to the hips. And as you inhale, come on back up. Good, all right. And turn the toes to the top of the mat, and then just step to the top of the mat. Step back with the right foot. Really working hamstrings today, I think. And bring the hands behind, interlock the fingers. Reverse prayer if you have it. Draw the shoulders back, and then exhale and fold over the left leg. Draw the left hip back, and keep that bend in the left knee. And draw the hands up toward the ceiling. And now lengthen through the spine, inhale and come up. Press the hands down toward the floor, shoulders draw back, gazing up. Press the hips forward. Find that sensation in the hips if you can. And coming back up. Just step the right foot up beside the left. And step back with the left foot. Bringing the hands behind. Clasp, interlock the fingers. And fold over the left leg. Oh, right leg. Get long through the spine, inhale up. And the hands toward the floor, head falls back, hips press forward. Ah, yes. And inhale up. Good. Step the left foot beside the right. Bring the hands to the hips. Take the weight into the left foot. Find your spot on the floor. And now turn the right knee out, coming into tree. Bring the right knee forward and the right foot down. Good. And again, hands to the hips. Take the weight into the right foot. Turn the left knee out into tree. And the knee forward and the foot down. From mountain pose, wiggle those toes. Lift all 10 toes off the mat. And then bring the big toes down. And then the second toe down to the mat. And then the third toe, fourth toe and pinky. Yeah, well, or maybe not. And then lift the big toes. All the other toes are down. Yeah, big toes are lifted. Other toes on the mat. And then lift the second toe and let the rest of the toes down. And then the third toe, oh man. And then the fourth toe and the pinkies lift. And then put all those toes back down and pick up the mat. Good, all right. Press down into the mat with the feet for mountain pose. Inhale the arms up. And exhaling, dive into the forward fold, bend those knees. Yeah, release the head toward the toes. And then just press the hips up toward the ceiling, but keep the belly touching the thighs. Inhale, half lift. And now just bring the hands down, step the feet way back there into plank. Knees can come down. Breathe. And exhale, bend the elbows, coming down onto your belly. Good. Tops of the feet on the mat, big toes touching. Inhale to cobra. Press the toes into the mat. One more breath. And exhale, bring the chin down to the mat. And now press up into table. Take a breath or two here in table. Couple of options here. Either pigeon on the mat or figure four. So I'll show you pigeon, or I'll show you figure four, and then we'll come back into pigeon. So for figure four, bring the feet around to the front, come down to your back, and bring the feet into the hips. And then you can bring one ankle or the other ankle onto the other knee, flex that foot that's on the knee,
and reach through, and you're in figure 4. And you do that one side and then the other. If you want to do pigeon, curl the toes, come into downward dog, and then lift one foot. I've got my right foot lifted. Bring that right knee, the knee toward the elbow. Take the foot across to the other side of the mat. Walk that other foot back toward the back of the mat. Lift up tall. And make sure that front thigh is parallel to the edge of the mat. That knee is pointing straight forward. And then exhale down into pigeon or figure 4. And I rest, I rest my head on my hands or arms, or you can rest your head on a block. Lift the head, bring the hands under the shoulders, coming up. Take the gaze straight ahead. Strong arms, pressing the hands down into the mat, fingers spread wide, and just breathe. Good. So take that pigeon or that figure 4 to the other side. Curl the back toes, lift the right leg, bring the right toes down, lift the left foot, and to the other side. Walking the back leg back, coming up tall and lower. And lifting the head, coming up. Again, pressing the hands down into the mat as you gaze straight ahead. And curl the back toes. If you're in pigeon, and take the left leg high. Pressing back, and bring the left foot down, and bring the knees down to the mat, and the feet around to the front. One more seated forward fold with bent knees. Flex the feet, get long, exhale and fold. And remember the heels, either move out for more sensation or in if there's too much.
Inhale and come up. Bend the knees and come down onto your back. Good. Bring the feet all the way into the hips. Take the arms wide and let the knees fall to the right. Turn your gaze to the left. Bring the knees to the ceiling, knees left, gaze right. And bring the knees back to the ceiling. Legs long and full body stretch here. As you inhale deeply, press out through the heels, reach back through the fingers. Big, long inhale. And exhale into Savasana. Again, you can have a cushion under your knees. You can have a pillow under your head. You can have your feet up and legs up on a chair. Just find the most comfortable position you can get. Notice what you feel in the toes and fingers. Notice sensations in the arms and legs. Notice sensations in the excuse me, belly and chest. And notice sensations in the face, in the jaw and the neck. And wiggle the toes, the fingers. Bend the knees and elbows. Stretch. And then when you're ready, you can roll to one side, coming up. Thank you for practicing. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. And I'm going to